Again, even if you don't want to play though, or even if you're just thinking about playing, if you sign up, that'd be awesome. It does help us out a whole bunch if you guys sign up, so check it out, sign up. It takes about, I think other people might be able to tell you if they've signed up already, but it probably takes about 1-2 minutes. It really doesn't take very long at all. Like, it really doesn't take very long at all. So, do go check it out and see what's up, see what's happening. Guys, are going to jump into souL Snute then. Let's cast this best of 3 semi-final from today's Go4SC2. Number 657, €100 on the line for our winner. Let's see who's going to get to the finals for a chance to play for that €100. Best of 5 will be the finals. For now, we're still in the best of 3 stages. There's a couple series left over still. Guru and Amshar still in game. Not sure what's going on with them. They've been playing ZvT forever. The winner will play a Blyther, which might speed things up, and so by the time we come out with the ZvT, we might just be ready to go into the finals. Of course, we'll keep you updated. We'll let you know whatever we know, and try and let you guys know, kind of just continuously, what is going on. So, the top left-hand side, our red Terran player from True Esports. Give it up if you're cheering on souL. Bottom right-hand side, our blue Zerg player from Team Liquid. It is Snute. Have a quick drink. Gotta drink when you can, guys. Keep that water going. Alright, so just gonna be waiting to see how this is gonna go, what's gonna happen over the next few moments. I'm just gonna be seeing this overlord moving in towards the upper left-hand side of the map to have a little bit of a peek around in these early stages. Factory coming down, command center as well on the low ground. And so just starting to go in towards the Reapers. I mean, obviously the build order here, nothing crazy like we saw out of him against Furious, where he went for proxy racks on this map. He then read 3 racks Reaper the map after. Super standard, just going in towards a factory-based opening, going to allow him to get into a few Hellions in the early stages. And that's what we've seen a lot of in TVZ as of late. You know, a lot of Hellion-based openers. It's very versatile in the sense that you can do so many different things from the Hellion-based openers. Sort of similar to how if you open 2-1-1, you're very versatile in your follow-ups, but you know the strict build of 2-1-1 is very strict for 5 minutes or so. This gives you a bit more kind of versatility, kind of in the early stages, a bit more kind of a choice to a choice as to what you do and to change things up, and so on and so on. As you just see, that Reaper is starting to work his way through a couple of these Zerglings here, and one Zergling will go down. Another Zergling is starting to take some hits, as you're going to be seeing the SCV will fall. Stopped, moving to build the starport. It's a little bit unfortunate. Nice little pickup from Snute, as he does get full scout as well. Sees the starport starting to build, he sees the factory for a reactor on it, so he knows exactly, you know, he's for this point in the game, he sees exactly what's happening, you know. He's going to see what's going on, he's going to be able to understand what he might have to go up against very shortly. And of course, it doesn't mean he knows what exact build it is just yet. He doesn't know if it's going to be a Hellbat drop, if it's going to be a Liberator or Cloak Banshee. But just the ideas of the possibilities being there does mean that he can start to eliminate things as he picks up further information, such as maybe just throwing an overload into the main base or whatever, you know. If he sees like a fast-fed CC, for example, or kind of a second Rex there, then you can maybe just say, well, I don't need to sacrifice an overload. I can just, I can just go. It's okay for me. We actually see Armory going to come down here. I was going to say that because the Marines producing rather than a tech lab on the barracks does suggest a Marine Hellbat attack. So 3 Marines will go in the medevac across the map. There'll be 6 to 8 Hellions, maybe 6 Hellions to move across the map initially, and then 2 more to join up as the fight goes on. Now, Snute, so far, how prepared is he for this? Well, so far, not at all. 8lings on the way up, a Queen building as well in the main base. Down the low ground, a couple of these Queens just injecting away on this hatchery as well. And there's the 3rd hatch from Snute. Going to be finishing in just a few moments. The 3rd hatchery will finish on up there. And again, Armory from souL is going to be finishing somewhat soon as well. So, just getting set up into this as we see the cloak field coming on down. So souL setting up into that cloaking field. And here we go. Marines and Hellions coming across the map right now as we look to see how this is going to go. So Queen's actually talking down the medevac for a moment or so. And it's going to be seeing the drone's going to be in a little bit of trouble there as well. Ling's going to keep on running forwards, and they are going to be able to, again, pick away a little bit at a few more of these Marines. And, well, with the medevac going down, Snute's going to defend against this very nicely with just Ling Queen. So this was really, really well done. Doesn't really lose anything at all. He just lost 19. I mean, he lost a couple of Queens, he lost some Lings. But obviously, it was a pretty big investment from the Terran player as well. Losing an entire medevac, a few Marines, and of course, all of those Hellbats early on also. He's going to keep streaming across the map, but there's Hellions still up and still being produced, actually, more Hellions. So we'll continue to build a bunch more of these. As Snute, on the other hand, will, well, it isn't really going to do too much crazy at all. He's got a Roach Rollers on a build. He's been playing a lot of Roach Ravager as of late, and it looks as though he, once again, is going to be playing a bit more Roach Ravager here today. So the double Evo Chamber comes down, ready for those upgrades of Roach Rollers on the way. And there's the Stimpak coming in through from souL. He's also got the Raven on the way out. So this is kind of interesting, actually. The Raven coming in a bit later after the Cloak Banshee, but going into Stim eventually as well. Did make a lot of Hellions, which slows down his second and third racks. So let's see if we can get something of value done with these, as the first Cloak She is over here and starting to pick away at a couple of these Queens, but nothing killed off just yet, as Queen's going to start dealing with these Hellbats to the left-hand side, and talking about maybe getting value for these Hellbats, doesn't look as though he's finding that just yet. And Snute just trying to send a few Lings in at a time so they don't all just get roasted in that slash damage. Those are the Hellbats going down then, and I would say for the most part, Snute's just put himself into a great position here. You got to look at this in the sense that Snute, he's just been droning and playing out his game, whereas souL, he's committed to an attack that really just hasn't done anything at all. Like, it really hasn't done anything, so pretty interesting. We're going to see this Banshee pushed away by the couple of Queens from the natural expansion, so that Banshee going to have to come up back north. I'm going to see this lair coming up to being about halfway done. The 4th hatchery too, going to be dropping down as well. 1-1 upgrades, just over halfway done here. We're going to be seeing the couple of Queens try and fight this Raven. We're going to see the Raven dropping an auto turret, and we are going to see some of these drones starting to go down. It's 3-4 kills, going to go up to 5 now potentially. That's the 5th. So 5 kills, not bad at all. And some good damage done by this initial Raven. So Raven doing its job so far. Of course, keeping the Raven on the map can be nice to start cleaning out some of the creep spread as well without the expense of scanning. So that's something we might see it used for as the game goes by as well. Some Queens way out of position here, all the way up the right-hand watchtower. Not sure what that's all about. Is some more Queens going to come over to this right-hand side. Looks as though he wants to continue spreading creep. Get to the high ground, some vision, so he can pop this creep team up here perhaps. He actually knows the Raven is here as well because he has an Overlord, so he's trying to hunt that down. souL will keep it alive though, pulls it to the side, and oh, goes back towards the Queens. That's not where you want to go. Just going to maybe be able to keep it alive as he goes towards the main. There's actually nothing here to defend against this Raven. I mean, Roaches to kind of get rid of the auto turret, but nothing to get rid of the, you know, nothing to actually shoot it down. Another 3 kills. Raven on 9 kills total now. Again, good damage being done. A second Raven to the left-hand side is in position, but not like, quite doing too much. Not as much as this right-hand side Raven. As our first 2 medevacs are loading up, and so souL really will start to apply the pressure now. As 1-1's about to finish up, he does trail slightly in the 1-1 upgrades. His stem is done, no combat shields, but he's got what he needs to push forward with a couple of medevacs and try and pressure this 4th base. Auto turret again to the left side. This time Roaches are pretty quick to pick it up, but still 3 more kills. And still that drone count just being picked away at by souL. As time goes by, as Snute is going to lose a few drones over to this left-hand side, not ready on the 4th base to deal with this attack, and 1 Marine for a good chunk of workers. So again, souL applying good pressure throughout this game and just keeping his opponent very honest when it comes to that worker count. He's not letting him run away with this game or series or anything. He's really making sure that Snute is going to stay within a reasonable amount of economy so that he can always be just, you know, in a reasonable position himself. Roach is going to pull back down to the south side then, as we do see Raven dropping another auto turret. Now he kills a Queen. 12 kills in this. These Ravens have actually been pretty insane. 12 and 5 kills. Now we see souL pushing with the rest of his army down the left side. He's missing combat shields. And again, having the much later kind of barracks just sort of affect him in that regard. Tanks in the back going to get targeted almost instantly by these Roaches. They will go down. And it feels as though Snute's going to have enough of a concave to work with here as well. As you see the corrosive bars coming down to help. souL just lifts and leaves. He loses a lot in that fight. That wasn't a pretty fight at all. Letting his tanks be hit by the Roaches so quickly wasn't great, because that, you know, usually what happens is the Marines do a lot of the soaking of damage while the tanks continue to dish out a lot in the back. In this situation, it was kind of the opposite. The tanks died pretty quickly, and well, the Marines were dying pretty quick as well. Snute just had a lot, and he was in position with it. I still see these Ravens picking up damage. Is there only 1 Raven left? Yes, there is. 1 finally goes down. Finally, Snute getting rid of one of these things which has been such a nuisance for him so far. As 2-2 finishes up, I mean, he's got Infestors mixed in as well, 4 of them. No burrow for those burrowed fungals, but he's got such a viable attack timing now, with 2-2 finished especially, right? I mean, he's going to have an upgrade lead going in towards a fight in the next couple of moments. Fungal Growth lands on these medevacs. A couple of corrosive vials will come down, and it will kill off 4 of those medevacs right away. Just in case souL wasn't already in trouble, he will be now. Another corrosive vial, and those medevacs are full of Marines. Goodbye, the entire army of souL. And goodbye souL from game number 1. He types on out as Snute will pick up the first game of this series. Live looks the same as me. Interested to see what you guys think. Penguin says kinda. I'm not sure if I'm feeling it in a lot of ways, if I'm going to be honest. So you get this set up and ready to go. Let's do this. Top left-hand side, the red Terran player from True Esports. Down a game. Let's see if he can fight back on Abyssal Reef. It is going to be souL. And he's going to be going up against the blue Zerg to the bottom right-hand side from Team Liquid. It is Snute. Pull first from Snute. I mean, it is a map where you're likely going to be able to sneak liggers around the side. Maybe he's just watching the previous series, a previous TVZ of souL, and just said, hey, well, if you went free rack sweeper then, you might go free rack sweeper once again right now, in which case I'm going to stop you from doing that. By going pull first, or at least not stop you, but limit your options by going pull first, and maybe just make it a little bit better for me. I'm a little bit more prepared just in case that does happen. Snute. Sat in the center of the map right now. You're going to be seeing this barracks going to be finishing up in a moment or so. So Raxter's finishing. It's going to be seeing the Reapers on the way out. No real surprises from souL so far. Again, playing much more standard here in these games against Snute than he is against Furious. Perhaps that's just a little bit of respect for Snute. Says, well, my nonsense isn't going to work against a guy this good. Kind of brave though, right? Saying, hey, I just feel as though I can take you on in the macro game. I mean, souL's not a bad player. He probably looks at this as a good experience, a good opportunity to try and take down Snute and to, again, just good practice in a tournament environment and so on. As you see, that factory is starting on up from souL. So factory starts on up over here. Barracks going to lift and reposition. Depot will go down as well. And there's the reactor coming down. So that souL can just get this set up and ready to roll. Overlord of Snute just pushing forwards. And he's going to be coming in towards the front here. CC is down about halfway done, and Zergling's speed starts up in the pool back at home. Reaper comes back home and has realized that, or not realized, but he actually pulls back early, just in case there is these Zerglings out. So Snute won't get a lot done with his pull first. He's not going to gain any advantages or anything from this. And we'll just now be actually seeing these couple of Zerglings pulling back to see what else is going on. Reverse ZvT just popping on out here. Rack's going to lift up away from that reactor, allowing the Hellions to start coming on out. Again, nothing too crazy. Just seen pretty similar to what we saw in the last game. Of course, we're still yet to see how this develops this time around. Do we see the Ravens again? I kind of like the Ravens, but it does feel as though a lot of what souL did just slowed down his real army composition. While the harassment was okay and decent, it felt as though that when Snute came and took a fight, or when he took a fight with Snute, it just wasn't gonna, he just didn't have enough. He didn't even begin to have enough. And so yeah, kind of a little bit of a weird one there as we see a tech lab dropping down on this barracks. Viking is on the way up. We're going to be seeing a couple more Hellions as well on the way out. They're about to pop over here, actually. So these two Hellions popping out, and they're going to start heading out onto the map. The two Zerglings from Snute are going to go around the left-hand side, see where they can get up to. Is going to see these couple of Hellions in the Reaper just picking away at drones. Snute taking a little bit of damage to this right now. Saw Snute yesterday playing the WardiTV Weekly Season 1 Finals against Jachi. He actually did advance out of that group, and he will play tomorrow, but he did actually lose a lot of drones to Hellions in the early stages, on Abyssal Reef as well. So he's apparently got a bit of trouble against this sort of stuff on this map. I mean, how many workers go down here, though, in the end? The last Hellions go down. 12 workers killed for 10 Hellions is okay. I think it's, again, one of those situations where you've got to remember he does lose the Hellions still, and well, it doesn't, while killing 12 workers is fantastic, he's still making those Hellions, and that does slow down other aspects of the game, and Snute can just drone up quite heavily behind this, because now he's killed the Hellions. There's no threat of anything further coming his way anytime soon. I mean, obviously more Hellions, but he doesn't have to worry about a very quick kind of bio-based push follow-up or anything along those lines, so he can drone up quite quickly, and losing 12 drones is not the end of the world right now for Snute. A couple creep teamers going to push over to the right-hand side here. Another creep teamer from Snute will probably try and push out in towards the center. There's one single Zergling running through the middle, also going to get shot down by the Hellions. And so they just continue to come down towards the bottom right to see if you can just do a little bit more. We're going to see a creep teamer picked off here right away, and yeah, let's see if we can get some more drones then. I mean, it's another 4 Hellions. There's one drone initially. There's going to be some stacking right now. No, still only 2 drones going down. Somehow Snute is making this happen, and there's 4 more Hellions for now, just 2 more workers. So now that's 8 Hellions kind of thrown away for workers, and I think that definitely does sort of favor Snute here, because again, now he just drones up heavily, now he just drones up consistently, and he sort of knows this position he's in. Viking and a Raven. Viking will be looking for Overlord kills. Raven will look to hit some mineral lines with these auto turrets once more. Again, I mean, 17 kills between the Ravens and game number 1 was not bad. In fact, I feel as though the Ravens were probably one of the more successful things for souL during that first game on Belshire Vestige. Now, though, kind of gets similar damage done, because he is again making that investment. This time, only the single... No, there is a double Raven. Wow. Double Raven's so crazy. Target firing these drones down, of course. And the Queen's not going to be enough on their own to make the most of that and to clean up quickly. There's a second Raven then. So 4 kills on the first one. But again, I sort of feel as though it's this situation where Snute will just keep on droning, because he says, well, Raven, okay. You know, if I just accept that you're going to kill drones, then I can just drone up even further and kind of account for that already. So it's an interesting way to play. Like the Raven in TVZ, it's so different. You can see this Viking shot down before it can kick up its second Overlord kill of the game. This auto turret coming down too, doing some damage. 3 workers killed. Yeah, I mean, still, it's not bad on either side, right? And I see the +1/+1 melee upgrades coming up right here from Snute. The lair is about to finish up from him as well. And just another hatchery, macro hatchery coming down in the main base. So macro hatchery coming on down, and we're going to see a couple more reactors. We'll build up in the natural expansion, and you're going to see the third CC as well. Going to come over here. Mule will drop down, and he's going to start putting out some SCVs. So SCVs are on the way. Third base is saturating. souL is going to be quite happy here, I think, with the way in which he's setting up right now. So +1/+1 melee upgrades continue to come on in. There's that Raven coming back through once more. 8 kills, 9 kills actually. Not bad. 9 kills in total on this first Raven. The second Raven too, 7 kills on it. So it's again like 16, 17 workers killed. Not bad at all. I mean, you can't really kind of look at this and say, oh god, what a terrible decision. It just does interest me, because he does slow down so much of his bioproduction because he's building Ravens and all the rest of it. Still a bit further ahead in this game though in terms of supply, and I wonder if those early drone kills actually are accounting for a little bit more of that than I was given credit for. Because right now, pushing across the map with an 18 supply advantage. Well, Snute does not have very much army supply, put it that way. How ready is he for this fight? I don't think he's that ready at all. Raven's still picking off drones. He's going to start morphing some Banes. Bane speed will finish up. Let's see if he can take a fight against these Marines. There's no combat shield, by the way. That's going to be actually a little bit of an issue for souL. He's going to be missing a lot of health on these Marines. He's going to be seeing these Lings running forwards. Widow Mines are here, they're nearby. Oh, the Widow Mine, the first connection. 15 Lings go down. And he chases it away. He actually picks up quite a lot still. And as he will clean up, but man, that first Widow Mine killed a lot of Zerglings. Those 2 medevacs so close to going down as well. If you kill those, all of a sudden this game turns around quite a lot, because that's so much less pressure on the map and so much else too. 13 kill Raven, just Snute has no answer to this at all other than to pull drones away. He has got meters on the way up, so finally these Ravens are about to fall. 24 kills between them, and again, most of those are drones. That's what, like 36 workers killed throughout the game, 45 killed throughout the game. Snute's economy just really has been struggling, and running into a whole group of Marines right here doesn't help. Let's see some Lingbane now will come in and clean up these few Marines which are dropping on top of it. A little bit of an interesting decision by souL rather than just grouping everything up together. Snute gonna have to really look for great Vitae in the next few moments to make this happen, as we see the meters on the way. And that will be the end of these Ravens then. So that's something at least cleaned up, one less thing to worry about. Snute playing the Lingbane meter as well, by the way, is obviously, again, we talked about him playing a lot of Roach Ravager, and that is very true. So him playing Lingbane meter is a little bit different, as it's going to be difficult. 56 to 70 workers, he's playing from behind. His army supply catching up a little bit, but he does have to focus up on that worker count now. Something he's been doing a good job of throughout the game, but I guess throughout the 47 workers killed, there's been a point where he's like, oh, really, I'm still making workers? Consistently just trying to respond to that as 2-2 upgrades rolling in for the Terran play as well. As they finish, we're probably expecting to see a bit of a larger fight from souL. A couple of Liberators being added on as well to maybe help against these incoming Mutalisks, as well, turret already in position on the 4th base, and souL is going to establish this no problem at all. Snute can't do anything over here. And these Mutas are still yet to really find anything in this game apart from finding cleaning up those Ravens, which is a pretty big deal, right? But I mean, to invest into like 12 meters and only kill 2 Ravens, which have already had massive amount of value out of them, it's not the best. 4 mixed into the army too, as it's another scary push going to come down the right hand side. souL going to back away a little bit though. One thing Snute does have heavily in his favor is the creep spread. It's so solid. For all the pressure and damage which has been done here by souL, he hasn't cleaned up a lot of the creep, which means that Snute really does have this opportunity now to really see where his opponent's coming in from, prepare against it, and to set up correctly into any of these engagements. 30 army supply behind. Snute is just missing, being maxed out at the moment. We're going to see a few Banes go forward. They pick off the first set of Widow Mines very nicely. In fact, that's really sweet, as he will chase down this Raven as well. Midas picking up that kill. Moving across the map, still looking to take a fight here. 4 going to have to be picked up as he continues to back away. souL needs his reinforcements to come in or something. And Snute will now disengage, especially because a drop to the south side is going to start being a pain in his main. He's already lost 2 of these queens, now a 3rd one. Starting to drop as well. There is not a transfuse to keep it alive. And that's 4 queens killed. Small drop is doing so much over here. And so behind all of this, just building up a band, getting into position once again with his main army, continuing to take advantages here in the second game of the best of 3 semi-finals of today's Go4SC2. Snute and souL really just clashing horns right now as Marine's starting to unload on this high ground once again. It's going to be the 4th base denied. Mining and souL is still just bringing on the pressure consistently. And as we're going to be seeing the scan coming down, and still a few more creep teams getting cleaned out here and there. Widowmine goes off, but not really on all too much. And here we go, Lingbei and Muta come in from the right hand side, pushing on forwards. The Mutas are going to run in towards this. Banes keep going off, and well, Snute just doesn't have enough. I think that's quite apparent right now. As the Mutas continue to fight, they'll disappear, and that's GG. We're going to lead, and just keeps pushing to stop Snute from ever getting back into the game. And we are set up into our 3rd game now. souL and Snute tied up 1 apiece. Bottom left corner of the map from True Esports, our red Terran player. Give it up for souL. Bottom right hand side, blue Zerg player from Team Liquid. Snute. Snute. Do. Alrighty, so we're getting set up into this TVZ best of 3. Winner of this will go up against Eve. I actually don't know how the other semi-finals go. And give me a quick moment. I'll get to refresh this right now. Snute souL, and it's also Namshar against Bly in the upper semi-final. So we are guaranteed at least 1 Zerg through to the finals. Of course, we were expecting that. Have been for a little while. Question is it Snute or souL to join them in the finals? Again, winner of this plays either Bly or Namshar in our best of 5 final here today. Our map here for this final game of the semi-finals is going to be Newkirk Precinct. And as we look to see the direction these games are going to start taking over the next few moments. And it's going to be an interesting one. There's going to be a little beeping in a moment, guys. It's going to plug my phone from my PC. That's all that little beep is. So yeah, I mean, opening once again. I mean, we expect Hellion opens nowadays. They've come way back into fashion. The 2-1-1 really is a build which is just continuing to die on out. And so here we are. Just sat with a factory coming on up. So factory comes on up over here. Just going to see this Overlord of Snute coming in and checking out the main base. So Overlord coming in, checking out the main base. We're going to see these few zones continue to move forwards as well. Just trying to pick up some, just trying to see what's up, I guess, more than anything. See what's going on, see what's happening. This Reaper going to scout around too, keeping an eye out to see what is taking place, what's going on. And the Reaper just going to come up towards the top right, and then back down towards the bottom left. So again, just looking to see what's happening, what's going on over the next few moments. Well, Queens do start to work their way through that Reaper as well, so a little bit more damage being done to it there, and we're just going to be seeing this Queen finishing up in the main. Starport will finish very shortly as well from souL, so going to be on this factory, Rax and Starport. Viking now building. And it is again Viking first. He did this in one of the previous games, Viking into Raven. And again, we'll see what he wants to do exactly. So many options, I think, is the main thing to kind of keep in mind here when you go for the Hellion opening. And there's so many different ways you can follow up, and obviously the Zerg, it's up to them to be prepared for all of them, / begin to figure out what exactly is going on, so that he can prepare, accordingly against it. So this game, I think, Snute, one of the main things he's got to look towards is obviously being a little bit more careful with the drones in the natural. Does not want to let those Hellions slip by and do quite as much damage as they just did there, as the Viking does pick off the first Overlord. There's a Cloak Banshee follow-up this time. I mean, every game, I mean, still went Cloak Banshee in game 1, but not before Viking, or not after Viking. He went Cloak Banshee into Ravens. Second game, he went Viking into Ravens. This game, Viking into Cloak Banshee. So again, continue to do a little bit more, as you see two Hellions just going to join up in towards the center. So Hellions just keep on joining up over here and getting ready to keep on pushing, it seems. Queen's coming out and are going to start targeting down one of those Reapers there. So taking a little bit, no, doing a little bit of damage to that, as we see the factory siege tank building up out of it. We see the Raven on the way out of this starport over here as well. Cloak's still building for that Banshee. So again, going into the Ravens at some point of this. As you see a couple of Evolution Chambers still building now for our Zerg play. I mean, Snute just wants to get in towards his mid game, but what mid game is it going to be? Is he going to go into the Roach Run? He's going to try and play Ling Bane Muta again? I mean, last game he played Ling Bane Muta, it didn't go well, but also because it was just one of those games where it was never going to go well. What's interesting this time is souL only makes the 4 Hellions. After the first 4 Hellions, he doesn't actually make any more. So he makes the 4, and that's all he goes for right here, as we're going to see this Banshee continue to chase, and we're all going to start picking up some of these drone kills. So some of these drones are going to start going down. Lings are going to run out and start surrounding Hellions and a Reaper. And they will shut this down quite nicely. So Banshee does some damage this time, but that's about it. And it is still around here, dodging away, and we'll get back towards the natural expansion even, as the Ravens start to get ready to go as well. Second Raven begins in the production tab, as the Banshee does now fall to the Queen. No further kills, just the 7 it already picked up. Let's see what the Raven can add to that then. 42 SCVs, 55 drones currently on the map. And still pushes forwards for us down this order turret. And there is those first few drones just getting shot down. Man, that's 4 kills already, 5 kills. This order turret's so good, man. It's actually kind of crazy. Like, watching this game, it's like, how does this Raven just keeps doing so much damage again and again and again? And it's like, well, it just keeps putting him into a good position, right? All he has to do is every now and then use an order turret, and boom, he kills another 3 to 5 workers, and just gets into an even better spot than he was before. And it's pretty crazy. You see the 2 Queens poking away at that Raven as well. Fuelings to the top left side. Just sat up here waiting to see what's going to happen. And this Raven as well moving through the center. Just see what will be going on here shortly as well. +1/+1 missile upgrades coming in from Snute. He's going to have a slight lead on the upgrades too. Slowly turret now comes down the third base again. Just changing locations, picking up another 4 drone kills. Just can't believe how many drones he keeps killing with the Raven. I wonder if this game, though, it'll be a little bit more like game number 1. It is looking like that, where the Ravens are probably, yes, going to do some damage. But the reality is that in the end of the day, oh yeah, Ravens do some damage, great, thumbs up, all happy. Until you realize that, you know, Snute's just been massively overdrawn in any ways to make up for that. He's about to hit +1/+1. We'll see if he wants to attack at all with these roaches and so on. Probably not, doesn't have roach speed. It's a bit of a weird thing to be missing, actually. Just have a less. There's the roach speed just starting now. Infestation pit at the same time. I think Snute's build is more so not kind of directed towards a 1/1 timing as it is more so directed towards hitting with 2/2, where he's going to have roach speed, and by the time he has roach speed as well, he'll have a few infestors up. And it just makes for like the real kind of strong composition that he wants to play with for the foreseeable future. So we'll put him in a pretty good spot here, I think. As you see for now, two of these medevacs coming up to the top side, and I'm going to start unloading a few Marines. I'm going to start dropping down and getting ready to go. Ravager's going to drop a corrosive pile or 2, and Roach is going to force those Marines to lift back up into the medevacs all over again. Raven still to the south, looking to try and get back in. This time Snute has Queen's positioned nicely to try and stop that from doing too much more. This Raven to the right is in a similar sort of situation. So Snute really actually adapting to the Raven play quite nicely here so far. You know, by adapting to this and putting his Queens in good position to just deny that Raven from coming in, he's just denying any further damage done, and the Raven's just now stacking up energy. I wonder though if he can just pull the Ravens back and use them in his army. If he uses them as a way to just, you know, he could drop down point defense drones perhaps. Drop down PDDs, and then all of a sudden he can absorb some of the shots. That could be something that happens. I'm just going to see this Ravager firing away one of those Marines, and the Roaches too, pushing in towards the front. So these Infestors coming out. Pathfinding Glance will finish just beforehand too. There's a PDD coming down to actually save the Raven and keep it alive. Might be a similar situation here, but it's too late. Point defense drone comes down way too late, actually, and well, that's going to be very frustrating right now as we're going to be seeing Queens pushing forwards. Here we go. Marines are actually going to get rid of 2 Queens right away. I mean, it's a large push, and Snute is just a few seconds away from his Infestors being in position to help out with this. I mean, souL has to be very, very careful not to stay as clumped up as he is right now, because a couple fungal growths would just end this army at this point in time. As you see Snute spreading out, getting ready to come in from an angle. Here we go. There's going to be a huge fungal growth on the ramp. Surely Infestors, they have the energy. They just didn't drop the fungal. Wow, why not? That was the opportunity of a lifetime to drop the fungal growth. Everything was on the ramp, clumped up. Doesn't go for it. Does send some Roaches across the map, and it's a large counterattack from Snute. Start dealing damage here as he's got units coming across the top side, and that's going to be something souL has to respond to. Still going to hit a little bit of a supply block as these Roaches, even if they're just killing the depots, well, that's still actually very useful. The supply block will stop souL from making any further units for a little while. And you see Snute is just waiting to go for this fight. Here we go. First fungal growth lands just on a medevac. First Infestor does die now as well, though. Tank's targeting it down as it falls back, and nice target fire. Gets rid of these siege tanks here at the front. Now Roach is coming back home as well. There's only Marines left in this army with 2 medevacs that are out of energy as well. There's really not a lot going right here for souL at the moment. And Snute just maxed out 195 over 200 supply. Compared to the 141 of souL, he is in a great position. souL supply block 2 still, so he's still struggling to actually build up any further units. As Snute, again, maxed out. Burrow on the way now to help his Infestors hit those fungals, and when he's just going to start pushing forward, he's going to find the army. I think he had fungal growth on the medevac. He might not bother. He might just use it on the main army, I think, and there it does go down. The siege tank in the back does not get hit by the biles. There's just way too much from Snute in the center. And this Roach Ravager TVZ continues to look very, very effective. It looked effective yesterday against Jachi. It looks great today, both against Keen in the Ting Open and against souL right now. Pushing on through, Snute is just going to clean up this bunker, and that should be about it. We're going to see a few more Corrosive Biles dropping on in here. The tank goes down. It's going to be game called. souL will type on out, and so Snute will take the 2-1 victory to advance through into today's Go4SC2